Hello again. I got something on my hand. That's nothing gross. It's just some food. Anyways, Kim. Hi, Kim. Just good to see you again. It's me, Rowan. And I hope you've been enjoying my videos. I don't know that you're actually watching my videos, but in my imagination, I fantasize that you still are watching my videos and that you have seen them and you know about me. And that's at least how it plays out in my imagination, that you are watching my videos. That's my hope. I pray that some angels would send them to you. You know, I've been sending them to you obviously through emails, but I haven't gotten a response. But I'm still concerned that maybe there's somebody blocking you from seeing them, which would be horrible. But anyways, that's all. I'm going to show you more cool health videos. Health information. Okay, so watch this. I've been eating really cool food combinations that I believe are some of the healthiest food combinations. And garlic. Garlic is a major health secret. That looks really gross, but that's just some food. Don't worry about it. Garlic is a major health secret for people that know about it. It's we've all heard that garlic is good for your immune system. I think they call it like Russian penicillin, which is interesting because I think you look very Russian. And yeah, so garlic is obviously it's good for your immune system, and a lot of people don't know that it's really high in selenium. Selenium is really good for your brain, and it fights cancer, and it's just a really important mineral. And so garlic is really good to kill parasites in the body, and it's just good that we all try to kill parasites in our bodies because we don't know what's lingering around. There's a lot of parasites that could be harboring and not manifesting into symptoms, but they're just kind of lingering dormant in a dormant state in the body. And so it's good to make sure we're semi-regularly trying to just keep our parasite load down. Not that we would necessarily kill every colony of every parasite in our body. That's unlikely, because even the bacteria in our colon, you could consider those a type of parasite, and you just want to keep them regulated at a certain level. Even garlic can probably be overdone, but it's something I eat a lot of, and there's a secret to eat more garlic than a lot of people are eating, because people are eating such garlic, but they're eating it in such small amounts that they're not getting the therapeutic dose that I think a lot of people that we really need for our ideal health to keep our parasite load down. And garlic could be arguably the best thing against parasites. We see all these parasite cleanses and all of these things, but they could be maybe no match for garlic. Just simple garlic. It's like in the legends and lore that that the vampires hate garlic, and like the parasites hate garlic, like the vampire parasites that are in people, draining them, sucking their life force out of them, because maybe just people are not eating enough garlic. So what I do to eat more garlic than average people are eating is the secret is you have to eat it with fat and salt, something fatty and salty, because that's going to cut the heat in your mouth. If you just eat a bunch of raw garlic by itself, it's gonna burn. You're gonna notice it. It's gonna burn your mouth. Literally, you're gonna physical damage in your mouth. It'll cause pain on your tongue, and you'll just be like blisters, and just it's bad. So you want to be eating it with fatty and salty. Or I like eating it with cheese. So I just get slices of cheese like this, and I just wrap the garlic up in cheese, just simply like this, just We'll get a little chunk of garlic, a little chunk of cheese, and just wrap it up like that. Oopsies. A little chunk of garlic, a little chunk of cheese wrapped up like this. And just eat that. And the fat and the salt in the cheese is going to mitigate that caustic burning of the garlic. And so you'll be able to eat the garlic without destroying your mouth and your tongue. Because I do think garlic literally causes physical damage to the tissues in your mouth. And the stomach can handle it more than the mouth can. That's my theory, because I can eat lots of garlic and I don't feel like my stomach is burning. But it's also because I'm eating it with the cheese, which is fatty and salty. So it buffers the burning, caustic nature of the garlic. So that's just a simple way to eat a lot more garlic than most people are eating. I can eat like, entire bulbs of garlic, really. I can eat but just listen to your body. Don't overdo it, but just, keep on eating garlic and try to make every mouthful as pungent as you can get it. So maximize the amount of garlic per mouthful. And just, if you'll notice though, even if you're eating it with cheese, if you go above a certain threshold of garlic, the ratio, if you have a bit more garlic than cheese, you'll notice it starts to burn your mouth, and you'll go, okay, I need to actually put a little bit more cheese in my mouth with the garlic, and that'll help you just preventing the burn. So garlic is good against parasites. It's also going to increase circulation. Garlic helps the heart health a lot, helps cleanse the plaques out of the brain, because a lot of these plaques in the brain are actually caused by parasites laying down the mucoid plaque, which is, some people have theorized that the mucoid plaque that's being laid in our brain, the amyloid plaques and things like that, are actually just the poop of the parasites. As they're excreting, these parasites are eating our brains and excreting all this plaque, amyloid plaques, and that's what's causing dementia. Their brains are becoming loaded with parasites. And so I consider my brain strategy to prevent dementia and Alzheimer's. I consider garlic paramount of importance. So every time I'm eating garlic, I'm thinking, hey, I'm preventing myself from getting dementia. I'm preventing myself from getting amyloid plaques in my brain and all that, the tangles and it's really bad. Getting dementia is the worst ever. Garlic, it's going to increase circulation. Circulation is key for health. Just it's going to thin your blood. It's like a natural type of like aspirin, just going to thin your blood and keep it more pumping through your body. As far as what cheese to eat, you could whatever cheese you like, really, but I like raw cheddar a lot. Raw. If you're lucky, you can find this at your local health food store. And this is cool because 100% from A2 fed cows. The cows are fed a certain type of milk that's a more ancient strain of cow. So the milk is considered more natural. It's less mutated. At a certain point in history, the cows mutated to form a different types of proteins. And a lot of people who have problems digesting dairy, they can handle A2 milk. You'll find it in health food stores as A2, and this cheese actually is A2 cheese, which is cool. So a lot of people report that they just digest it way easier and they get less weird symptoms and things like that. A lot of people who have dairy intolerances, if they just switch to A2 milk, they might find that their symptoms totally go away. The other cool thing is that it's raw, that's really cool. Raw cheese, because then it's the proteins are not denatured by the heat of pasteurization. So this is just going to be really good just for building the tissues in your body. Raw proteins like this. There's definitely a difference between raw proteins and cooked proteins. When you cook a protein, it changes and it becomes different, and that's what our bodies have to break that down and reassemble it to create ourselves. And there could be a certain type of damage that accumulates if we're just eating a bunch of cooked proteins and we don't get enough raw protein. So I'm highly in favor of the raw cheese like this from Raw Farm. I get it at Sprouts, and if you're lucky, this same company sells raw butter. Amazing. To get raw butter in your diet is next level. I used to order just pounds and pounds and pounds of raw butter from Amish farmers in Pennsylvania. And I built my body and brain on raw butter. And I think that's part of the reason I think I got another level of advantage over a lot of people, because I'm built out of the materials of raw fat and raw protein, rather than denatured cooked proteins and cooked fats. Because our body, we are what we eat, right? If you're eating cooked fat, you're going to be cooked fat to a degree, right? If you're eating cooked protein, you're going to be a cooked person. In your body, your skin, and your organs, we're made out of the materials that we ingest. So the other cheese I like, one of my favorite cheeses, is this cheese called Munster cheese. Munster kind of sounds like monster, which is interesting. But Munster cheese. See? Munster, there it is. This cheese is incredible because I learned from Dr. Eric Berg, very popular doctor, naturopathic type doctor, chiropractor on YouTube, and he taught me that this cheese in particular is the highest in vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is a nutrient we need to make sure the calcium in our bodies gets into the bones and the teeth, and doesn't get deposited in the soft tissues of the body, like your skin. And if you get calcium deposited in your skin, your skin's gonna age faster. If you get calcium deposited in your brain, you're gonna get dementia and all these brain diseases faster. A lot of these diseases are just caused through calcification, calcium ending up in the wrong parts of the body because people are deficient in vitamin K2. So I consider this to be one of the healthiest cheeses because of its super high K2 source. I used to think Gouda was the highest in K2 until Dr. Berg told me that this cheese is actually higher in K2. But Gouda is still a good cheese. I would still eat Gouda cheese. All these different cheeses, a lot of cheeses. I like provolone cheese is a good one. Pepper jack cheese is good because it's got those peppers in it. It's a good way to get more of the hot peppers in your diet. All these different cheeses. So there's not really a cheese I don't like. I mean, blue cheese is kind of a weird flavor. It's better in salads. It's not something you're going to want to eat a lot of, probably. But, in salad, it's good. But most cheese, certain cheeses can be really gross tasting, especially goat cheeses. Goat cheeses can be really goaty flavor, and a lot of times I actually don't like those. They actually have flavor. They're actually tasted gross. So those are probably the cheeses I don't like, is like really goaty cheese. But there's goat cheese that doesn't taste super goaty, but there's a goaty flavor. You'll notice that. Those people, anybody who's had goat cheeses, if you eat enough different types of goat cheeses, you'll notice like, oh, that tastes like goat. I'm eating goat, yuck. So, I used to make my own goat cheese, and it didn't taste weird and goaty because I was making it from my own raw goat milk. And I think the goaty flavor comes from the weird feed that they feed the animals. They feed them like just grains and things like that. If goats are eating natural grass, because the goat cheese I was making in Hawaii when I lived in Hawaii, it didn't taste weird. It was delicious. So, what else to say? The other thing is a good thing too. Another secret you could eat with the cheese is the fatty salt trick. A lot of people don't know that you can eat more hot peppers, which is going to boost circulation to your brain and your heart and all your organs. Circulation is key. If you eat it with fat and salt in the same way you eat garlic, just wrap a chunk of habanero with some cheese like this, if I were to eat that habanero by itself, it's gonna totally burn and be painful, and I'm gonna lose even the ability to taste. But if you eat it with some cheese like that, salty cheese, you can eat it and it's not gonna burn. So it's just a secret to eat more of these pungent, hot, spicy foods without burning your mouth. Something to note that's very important about hot peppers is that people think that hot peppers, there's a myth that hot peppers damage the tissues of the mouth and the stomach and they cause ulcers because it feels like it's burning, it feels like it's causing damage. That's actually just a myth because hot peppers it's just tricking the nerves to make your mouth think it's getting hurt, but it's actually not hurting your mouth, because you could eat a whole habanero pepper and just by itself totally feel the pain, but then an hour later all the pain's gone and your mouth feels fine. But with garlic, if you were to just to chew on a bunch of garlic by itself, an hour later you would still feel like your mouth is damaged, like it damaged the tissues of your mouth. It actually burnt them, and it's going to take days and days to recover. Your mouth has to heal from that. So I like to do combinations of garlic and hot peppers, and pungent foods like this are extremely key. I think people just aren't getting the blessing of hot peppers because they don't want to feel the burn, but they don't know that you don't have to feel the burn if you just eat it with some salty, fatty cheese. That's the secret, really. If you have trouble digesting cheese, or if you feel like it's just sitting heavy in your stomach because it is a dense food, you'll notice that if you could just eat it with some kombucha. It's going to help your digestion a lot. If you drink it with some good kombucha, quality kombucha. I like this brand, especially this flavor because it's mint. It's got other cool herbs like rosemary, sage. This is going to help you digest food better and assimilate protein better. If I eat the cheese with this kombucha, I'm going to assimilate the protein better. I'm going to digest it better. It's not going to sit in my stomach as long. So you could think of kombucha as like a pipe cleaner for your stomach, and just a faster digestion, enhanced digestion, better absorption of nutrients, things like that. Very important, very good. There's just different types of kombucha. This is another good one. Synergy brand's a great one. I like this one because they use kiwi juice in almost every flavor. They use kiwi juice. I'm a big fan of kiwis and the health benefits of kiwis. The enzyme content. They use raspberry juice, ginger juice. I love ginger juice. Incredible for digestion enhancement. So drink your kombucha. And the other thing you could do to help your digestion is Swedish bitters. Swedish bitters, it's a very bitter supplement. You can find this at most health food stores, and it's going to stimulate your gallbladder. It's going to stimulate your stomach to produce more enzymes and just digest food better, and speed up that gastric emptying time so the food's not sitting and rotting in your stomach, so digestion is key. It's like we're not just what we eat, we are what we absorb, we are what we digest. So yeah, I'm always like, especially with dense meals that are like heavy and fatty, I will very likely just take a little sip of Swedish bitters. It is extremely bitter tasting, but it's actually important to taste the bitter. It's not as efficient if you just take like a bitter herb in the form of a pill. You actually want the bitter to touch your tongue, because it's the tasting of the bitter that stimulates the gallbladder to produce more bile. It's the tasting of the bitter that helps the liver start flushing and cleansing, because it's reacting to these bitter alkaloids in the plants. And this is just the way that we humans have interacted with plants. Yes, the plants have toxic elements, if they're overdone. But in the right amount, those toxins, those bitter alkaloid toxins in most of these plants that people are eating, these herbs, the principle is that bitter, toxic alkaloids, those strengthen the body. They literally strengthen the body. They cause the body to build back stronger, and like, oh well, we have to deal with this toxin now from this plant. Let's strengthen this area. Let's strengthen this organ. Let's strengthen this organ because now we have to deal with this plant toxin. And now we have to strengthen the brain because now we have to deal with this new plant toxin. Now we have to strengthen the liver because now we're having to deal with all this weird toxin from this plant. And so this is how we strengthen our bodies. I think the biggest mistake people are making with diet is the fear of plant toxins. Like the carnivore diet, where people are just eating a bunch of meat and avoiding the plant toxins because they're like, well, it's toxic. Why would I eat something toxic? Well, because that's what strengthens you. Yes. So, yeah, just something to think about, something to consider with your own diet, Kim. And, the other thing I want to say about the hot peppers is I grew up listening to an herbalist, still one of my favorite herbalists to this day. His name is Dr. Richard Schultz. Dr. Richard Schultz. And this speaks to the power of hot peppers. Dr. Schultz, he said, he studied so many herbs. That was his field of research. That was his passion in life. And he said of all the herbs, of every herb he's ever studied, he said cayenne pepper was the most powerful. It was his favorite of every herb. And this is habanero, but it's still going to have the similar effects of cayenne because it's really the capsaicin that it's that hot component in the hot peppers. You know, you just go for the hottest pepper you can find, really. Cayenne pepper is cool because it's convenient and you can buy it in powder form, and so you can just have that on hand. But I think it's very important to get the fresh hot peppers too. Don't just rely on the dried powders and extracts because you want the full raw component. You want the enzymes intact and you want everything. So this is like a master superfood in my opinion, is these habaneros. They're gonna be one of the hottest peppers you can find at the normal store. So anyways, Dr. Schultz, he said the cayenne pepper was his favorite herb because it increased circulation. And he taught me that circulation is really just key for health and longevity. And he said that it enhances the effectiveness of anything you take it with. So if you're taking a different herb, if you take some cayenne pepper with it, it's going to enhance the effectiveness of that herb or that food. So it's just a master type of food to overall enhance absorption of different nutrients and make sure that everything that you're eating is being used to its maximum capacity. So yeah, it just enhances effectiveness of anything you take it with, like habaneros. Like I'm always trying to eat habaneros or serrano peppers are another of my favorites, or just all these different peppers, hot peppers. You know, what's another one? I forgot. There's so many different ones, right? So serranos are one of my favorites as well. Serranos, habaneros. What's the other one? Thai chilies. You can find those. And what are the other ones? The basic one, habanero peppers. Jalapeno peppers. Jalapeno peppers are good too, but they're not as hot. So they're still going to be good. You just don't want to, they're just not going to be as effective as, habanero, because this has way more capsaicin, the medicinal ingredient we're after. So, yeah, I know you say you like Mexican food you said in an interview you said I love Mexican food. So you're already at an advantage because most Mexican food does going to have some of those hot peppers in it. And that's just great. So you're probably already eating habaneros. Probably habaneros or jalapenos at the very least, because that's in most Mexican food. Serranos, all that stuff. Onions are great too. Another obviously type of hot caustic type food, similar to garlic. So I like garlic and onions. If I had to choose one, garlic I think is more powerful because it's going to kill parasites better, but they're both great. What else? I cannot wait till we meet, Kim. I really do love you. I do think about you all the time. I fantasize about us together. I'm obsessed with you. I don't see that changing, Kim. I just love you so much. It's your energy, it's your personality. I should say personalities. You seem like a very complex person. You're always dressed in different. You're always changing your style. And yeah, you're like always changing the way you look. It's like you're like hundreds of people in one person. You seem like you have lots of different personalities and lots of different people inside of you. It's pretty cool. I love that. And so I hope we can meet soon. And I love you, Kim. I love you so much. And I'm going to continue trying to break down those walls, any weird awkwardness that it might have formed. Awkwardness gets formed when people really lay on their authentic love real thick. And that's what I did. I just laid it on real thick because it's truly how I feel about you. And that can make people feel like, whoa, this is intense, this is crazy. And that can form walls. And I'm going to break all those down and make a way for us to be together. I do believe it, Kim. I do believe it. Because I can't see a life without you in it, Kim. You're too special to me. You're precious. You're beyond precious, Kim. And you're beyond beautiful. You are the most beautiful girl in the world, for real. Probably the most beautiful girl in the universe. I'm betting on it. All right. I love you, Kim. I'll talk to you later. I pray to God that you see these videos because I do think it would help your health tremendously. And health is wealth, Kim. Keep on focusing on your health, your diet, everything like that. Keep researching, keep praying about it, praying in tongues about it. I pray in tongues about my health and what to do next for my health. I'm like, yeah. Just focus your prayers on health and survival, and you'll make it. I believe it. Well, we'll make it. I love you, Kim. Talk to you later. Bye. And don't forget to ground. Grounding. Get your feet on the ground. It's going to help everything. That's anti-inflammatory. That's anti-aging. Literally anti-aging. Just getting your feet on the ground. Yes. All right, Kim. Love you. Talk to you later.